Hi guys, welcome to TechVet TV. This is Punita Parekh and I'm a content marketer from Mumbai City. My background has been, I've spent about 10 years with a broadcast media channel called CNBC TV18 as well as another 10 years with Times Network doing content marketing, brand strategy, so on and so forth. Since COVID 2020, I quit my 9 to 5 job and started out as an independent content marketer. Today it's been 2.5 years. I've been helping a lot of brands and individuals with helping and building their content marketing strategy. You can be any brand, be it an architect, be it a content marketer like me, be it an engineer. Every individual and every brand needs to create their own brand. How does all this happen? It happens with the power of building a content marketing strategy. So that's exactly what I'm going to be talking to each one of you, building a content marketing strategy, broken down into 5 simple episodes. Episode 1 is why content marketing strategy is important. Episode 2, how to build a content creation framework. Episode 3, content planning and scheduling. Episode 4 is going to be about brand marketing and brand positioning. And episode 5 is about how to actually measure whatever you've done in terms of ROI. Today's episode 1, where we are going to be mainly talking about why is content marketing so important and why is it important to actually build a content marketing strategy. So it's very important to understand to each one of you guys that you have to focus on first understanding that content marketing actually helps you establish trust with your audience, which means it showcases you as an authority in your domain. That's point number 1. Point number 2 is content marketing can actually help you generate leads organically with the power of content day after day, day after day. If you keep putting yourself out there, you will generate leads. That's point number 2. Point number 3 is it also helps you improve your effectiveness of search engine optimization. What I mean by this is because you create a lot of content across blogs, across social media, what happens is Google catches keywords, and with the power of keywords, your SEO increases. Point number 4 is it actually increases and enhances your overall social media presence. So how does content marketing actually work? Many people understand how does it work? How do you start? How does one go about it? So it is a very simple 4-step process which one needs to look at following. Step number 1 is you have to focus on creating awareness of your brand. What I mean by that is, say for example, you're launching an ice cream brand. So what do? Say you're launching a brand called Scooper Dooper from zero. How do you start that? So step number 1 is you create a brand awareness. Let your audience know about what Scooper Dooper is all about. How is it going to be helping their audience when they eat the ice cream? That's your stage 1, which is creating brand awareness, where consumers understand the need of purchasing Scooper Dooper ice cream. That's stage 1. Stage 2 is research stage. In this stage, you're actually focusing towards educating our audience about its benefits, educating the audience about why they should buy it, educating the audience about the importance of it. That is your stage 2 research stage. Your stage 3 is awareness stage, where you're actually doing a competitive analysis, where you're comparing different products and telling them why you as Scooper Dooper is the best. That is stage 3. And your stage 4 is finally the purchase stage, when actually your audience from the awareness stage is finally slowly coming to purchase it because they have started trusting your brand, number 1. Then they have started believing in who you are, and finally they buy in from you. So now that we spoke about its importance and how does it work, it's extremely important to understand its benefits. What are the benefits of content marketing? Why should you be doing content marketing for your brand? Number 1, it gives you a very, very competitive advantage with other brands. Number 1. Number 2, it creates brand awareness organically. The more and more you put yourself out there, the more and more you showcase yourself out there, the more and more people will come to know about your brand. Number 3, your traffic to your website organically goes to your website because your content is pulling you towards your website. That's point number 3. Point number 4 is media visibility. You will be known across media, across platforms with the power of your content. Number 4, leads. Lots and lots of leads will be generated because when your audience, when your prospect customer is looking at your content, they are starting to believing in you. They are starting to trust in you. Once they start trusting in you, they will buy in from you, and that's when you will start generating organic leads. And last and not the least is client engagement. More and more people will start engaging with your content. Only once they start engaging with your content, that's when people will start commenting on your content pieces. Now the next thing is, how does the steps happen? How do you actually build a content marketing strategy with the power of a 6-step process? Step number 1 is defining your target audience. Without knowing who you want to talk to, without knowing who your audience is, you cannot create a content marketing strategy. So step number 1 is defining your target audience. Step number 2 is aligning your content. What I mean by aligning your content is, for example, giving an example of my own self. I am a content marketer and a personal branding expert. So these are my 2 content pillars or my 2 content buckets. Now, with the power of these 2 buckets or these 2 pillars, I am actually aligning my content. I am actually creating content across these 2 pillars only. That's step number 2, aligning your content. Step number 3 is content auditing. What I mean by content auditing is, before you publish a particular content, it's very, very important to analyze it. It's very important to check if it's doing well. It's very important to understand what your audience is reacting to it. Content auditing is very important. Step number 3. Step number 4 is a production plan. What I mean by a production plan is, say for example, in your content marketing strategy, you create video content, you create graphic based content, you create polls, you create carousels. So this is your strategy. Now you need a back-end production plan. Who will make your videos? Who will edit them? Who will package them? Who will add graphics? Who will publish them? Production plan, very, very important. Step number 5 is performance measures. What I mean by this is, now that your content is actually published, people are watching it, you need to understand how it's performing. So there are various analytical tools which actually help you understand how your content is performing. And last and not the least, which is very important, is the power of your content can actually be distributed across various platforms. The power of repurposing. One single piece of video content can be repurposed into a simple text content, into a simple infographic, into a YouTube content, into something like, tweet, into a quote. The power of distribution is so powerful. So these are the 6 steps. Now I come to the 5 best practices of content marketing. Number 1, give your audience the best you can. Tell them about your company. Make them believe in you. Go and do the behind the scenes about your company. Tell your audience about why your company is so important. Tell them about your vision. Tell them about your values. Tell them about your mission statement. That's point number 1. This is one practice which you should follow as a brand. Step number 2 is, do a lot of customer testimonials or interviews. What happens with the power of customer testimonials is, your audience starts believing what others are saying about your brand. So your customer testimonials are actually becoming your brand royalty. They are your brand custodians. So customer testimonials play a very, very key role. Number 3 is, always keep a question answer chat box or opinion question answer sessions open in your social media pages, because you want your prospect customers and your prospect audience to actually know what they think about your brand. Number 4 is create content. What I mean by creating content is, start creating content which educates your audience, which inspires your audience, and which makes your audience take action. And the 5th and the most important best practice is outtakes. What happens here is, you create different formats of content: text, polls, videos, carousels, reshared articles, reshared videos. With the power of different formats, your content is actually repurposed everywhere. Yes, this is what happens when you actually build a content marketing strategy and why content marketing is important. In your episode 2, you will learn about building a content creation framework. Thank you so much.